Okay. Fine. So, by the way, we know how far away is Purim?
Next Friday.
Next Friday, a week from tomorrow, right? Thursday night. Don't go Friday. We gotta as soon as it comes, right? Fine. So we're like we're less than a week away, which is like super exciting. But we know that the Chodesh of Adar, we said last week that the entire month of Adar is a month of simcha, of happiness. So there's a beautiful idea brought from the Sfat Emet. The Sfat Emet says like this: people can spend their entire lives chasing simcha. Simcha is happiness. We said, Mishenichnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha. When Adar, the whole month of Adar comes in, we have to intensify our simcha. We said it last week, we'll say it again. That means a status quo. Your regular, basic level of living is simcha. Adar comes, you got to intensify it. But the Sfas Emes says very simple. How do you find simcha? Like, right? I got to intensify my joy. I got to be happier. So what's that mean?
You have to be more appreciative.
Okay, so more appreciative.
It's a mentality.
It's a mentality. Beautiful. Look at that. Ariel nails it. Ariel nails it on the head. It's a mentality. The Sfat Emes says it a different way, but it's the same idea. The Sfat Emes says, if you look at the word bisimcha, in happiness, so you jumble up the letters bisimcha, and it says machshava. You know what machshava means?
Thought.
Your thought. People go run around the whole world. They think that if they buy this or they do that or they act like this, they hang out with this person, this job, and we can make a whole list, right? This girl, this clothes, this place, this house, this state. That's what's going to give me happiness. And then they get there, and they're looking for it somewhere else. Wherever you go to look for that happiness, it's not there, because happiness is a state of mind. Bisimcha is machshava. You think positivity, and things become positive. You wake up in the morning and say, today's going to be a good day. Today's going to be a good day. Even if you don't check off everything on the bucket list. You have 100 things to do. You did 2. But if your idea is today's a good day, you start imbuing positivity. The Megillah, the Gemara tells us, the Gemara Megillah tells us a crazy story in the story of Purim. Haman wanted to kill Mordechai from the get-go. Their relationship, you should just know, Haman and Mordechai, their relationship goes back a long time before the Megillah. But what happened was, Haman went in, he wanted to convince Achashverosh, and Achashverosh hears him and says, oh, Haman, what would you do to somebody who deserves royalty, someone who deserves kavod, an honor? What would you do? And Haman thinks to himself, we all know this part of the story, the king wants to honor me. So he says, you know what you do? You put him on the royal horse, the king's horse, and you put him in the king's clothes, and you give him a fresh look, and you have the second in command drag him around town. So Haman's thinking, Mordechai is going to pull me around town, I'm on the horse in the king's clothes, this is fire. And the king says, I love it. You go do all those things you said, do that for Mordechai. Haman's bugging out. Now Mordechai, what was Mordechai doing at this time?
Fasting.
So Mordechai is fasting and learning and teaching Torah. So the Gemara tells us what happens, right? It's the fine print that's not in the Megillah. Haman goes and he takes the royal clothes and he takes the royal horse and he starts walking to Mordechai. And Mordechai is sitting there teaching Torah. And Mordechai sees Haman coming and he says to the people he's learning with, he's coming to kill me. Get up and go. Because if he comes, if he's crazy, he'll take you out with me. He's coming for me. Go save your lives. And he gets up and he starts to daven. And so Haman walks in and he's waiting for Mordechai to finish davening. Because the king said, you got to go get him. And he turns to the guys who were sitting there learning Torah with Mordechai. And he said, he's curious. So, what were you guys learning? And they said, we're learning about the halacha kemitzah. Kemitzah is when you take a korban, you have flour, it's a measurement. You would take your fingers, by the way, just so you know, you scoop it up like this, the 3 middle fingers, the measurement inside here, this is a kemitzah. So, the Gemara says a little bit further. It says, why were they learning kemitzah? Because it was relevant to that day. It was halacha that made a difference on that day. Why? Because that day was Pesach. It was the 16th day of Nisan, which is Pesach. And he was talking about when the Beit HaMikdash would be in existence, so they would have to bring certain korbanot, korban omer, and they would bring a kemitzah, and that was part of the process. So hold up. Stop. There is no Beit HaMikdash. They were in Galut, they were in Shushan. There's no Beit HaMikdash. That, by the way, in case you never knew, that party, that crazy party for 180 days that Achashverosh throws at the beginning of the Megillah, that party's celebrating that there's no Beit HaMikdash. That's what that party is. There were 70 years between the first and the second Beit HaMikdash. Achashverosh counted 70, but he failed first grade, so he counted wrong. No, legit, he counted wrong, right? And he celebrated, that nevuah that they had was wrong. There's no Beit HaMikdash, party time. And he throws a crazy party. So there was no Beit HaMikdash. Mordechai and the guys, they're sitting there learning about halacha, what happened in the Beit HaMikdash. Not only that, put yourself in real time, Mordechai's fearing for his life, literally. He gets up from teaching halacha of Beit HaMikdash, which doesn't exist, and goes down to Hashem that Haman's not going to kill him. Why? Because the machshava, his mind was, when I believe Mashiach could come? Haman's walking here. He's on his way to kill me. Mashiach could come before he even gets to me. Mashiach could come instantaneously. My machshava is a positive one, so positive vibes. When Haman was coming to get Mordechai, Haman was already on his way to his death. I don't know if you guys realize, if you place the Megillah, the story together, during that he walks around, his daughter throws garbage on his head. By the way, you should just know, it's not garbage. It's feces from the bathroom. He dumps it on his father's head. She commits suicide. It's true. The Mikdash says it wasn't garbage. We just say like that in second grade, so like the kids will listen, right? So what happens? Before he even changes his clothes, the Megillah says the guards pull him out to go to the party with Esther and Achashverosh. At that party, Esther says, "This is the dude who wants to kill me." Haman says, "What did they kill him?" Right there. On his way to go get Mordechai, Mordechai's worried for his life, but Mordechai's machshava is all positive. We're going to learn about the halacha in the Beit HaMikdash because when you think positive things, positive is what you experience. The Sfat Emes says, you know how you can be marbe besimcha in Adar? Be positive. And the Lubavitcher Rabbi said, chach gut v'zayin gut. It's Yiddish for think it's going to be good, it's going to be good. It's all about you thinking good thoughts. Adar is a time that we're always able, there's so much positivity. Everyone's always happy and upbeat because that's what we're thinking. That's what we have to be. Even to the point where some people say, it's a beautiful idea. When's the other time? We said this already. Misha nichnas adar marbim b'simcha. When's the opposite?
Yom Kippur.
Close. Av. Misha nichnas av mematim b'simcha. Right? So he says like a beautiful idea. If you go to Av, we all know Av is a very sad time, right? We lost the Beit HaMikdash in Av. Tisha B'Av, both. First and second were destroyed on Tisha B'Av. So we mourn. If it's Av, and you see a guy partying, most normal people say, yo, bro, what are you doing? It's Av. You're not allowed to party. Ashkenaz, you guys are different. Ashkenaz, there's no drinking wine for the whole Tisha B'Av, from Av till Tisha B'Av. No 9 days. No wine, no meat. Right? You guys hold only the week of Tisha B'Av. You see a guy eating a steak, an Ashkenaz guy eating a steak, drinking a bottle of wine on the second day of Av. He's like, whoa, what are you doing? You're not allowed to do that. Asur. Some Rabbanim say it's the same thing on the flip side for Adar. If you see a guy who's upset in Adar, smack him and say, what the hell? Why are you not happy? Wake up. You have to be happy. So even if you're not physically happy, you have to be thinking positive things. You have to wake up in the morning and say, today's going to be an awesome day. You know what happens even if, the fake it till you make it? If you think positive things, you think positive, all of a sudden things become positive. You realize that even in a difficult situation, there's positive. There's a silver lining in every single situation. The month of Adar, as we said earlier, Haman's like, Moshe Rabbeinu dies in Adar. Moshe Rabbeinu was born in Adar also. Adar is a time of happiness, of joy, because we have to put it into our heads like that. The reason why we celebrate is because we create situations to celebrate. Mordechai said, You know what we're going to learn? We're going to learn halachot about the Beit HaMikdash because it's possible. I believe, ani ma'amin be'emunah shalema. I believe full-heartedly, right? The Mashiach is coming. When? Right this second. Keheref ayin, in the blink of an eye, Mashiach could come. In the blink of an eye, the Geula, Mashiach could come, Geula will come. Anything can change. You have to have that machshava. You have to put that thought into your head. When you believe it, when you think it, when you be positive, then all you're going to see is positivity. You'll see all the good in everything instead of the easier way out, which oftentimes means you find the bad in situations. We train ourselves to be positive people in Adar. Adar is Aleph Dar. Aleph is Hashem. Hashem lives with us in Adar. And you know Hashem's living, He's chilling here? So how are you not happy? How do you not realize the beauty in every single situation that we have? My bracha to all of us, there's still plenty of time. By the way, and that's for the whole month. Even after Purim. Right? Like when Purim's done, we're still in the month of Adar. So we have plenty of time. Today's 6. Today's Vav Adar. We have plenty of time to work on this idea. To be besimcha in the whole month. Happiness, good thoughts and good vibes and good feelings. My bracha is we should only grow every single day with more besimcha, more machshavot tovot. And like that, we'll be able to, hopefully, we'll bring, like Mordechai did. Mordechai's positive vibes brought a geula. There are other pieces also. But in that situation, he was learning about what happens when Mashiach comes right now. By the way, they say the Chafetz Chaim. Everybody here heard the Chafetz Chaim, yeah? He was a Kohen. So the Chafetz Chaim said he knew, they say about the Chafetz Chaim, he knew exactly how to do the avodah in the Beit HaMikdash. So when they asked him, why? There's no Beit HaMikdash. She said, I don't think I'm the right guy for the Kohen Gadol. Right? Because he was an Anav. He probably would have been. Right?
An Anav?
Anav. I mean, he was humble. He said, I don't think I'm the right guy. But if the Mashiach comes today and the Beit HaMikdash is here, we need somebody to fill in until we know who the Kohen Gadol is. So he knew exactly if the Beit HaMikdash fell on the spot, he would be able to go do the avodah in the Beit HaMikdash today. Mordechai believed the same thing. What happened as a result? Haman comes, puts him on the horse, takes him around town, says, this is how the king honors you. Ultimately from that goes Haman's done. When your machshava is tov, when you think good thoughts, the reality becomes besimcha. Happiness is all around us. Mirz Hashem will be able to celebrate besimcha the entire month and beyond. Let's pray our vid. And by the way,